344 therapy sessions, 2 therapists, and group therapy later, I can honestly say this: therapy has been life-changing. But when I first started, I wasn't so sure. I couldn't see how it would help me. I mean, my mom had just passed away and I knew I needed help, but I was in a very, very dark place. Today, I'm going to share what 5 years of therapy has taught me, 10 things that I learned in my 5 years of therapy, and who knows, maybe it might help you too. This video includes a paid partnership with BetterHelp. I will be talking about them more a bit later in the video. So to understand how much therapy has helped me, you need to realize where I was. My life was never easy. I grew up with a narcissistic, alcoholic, abusive father. My mom was my rock, but at some point she got sick with cancer. And when she got sick, I felt like everything fell apart. On top of that, we never had a lot of money, and throughout my childhood and my adulthood, sometimes even now, I felt like I was carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. On top of that, I always struggled with my body image. I never felt good enough. I was dealing with a lot of disordered eating habits, disordered workout habits, body dysmorphia. I never felt like I was good enough, no matter how hard I tried. And when my mom passed away 5 years ago, I knew I needed help, but I didn't know where to look for it. My friends and family were supportive, but I needed professional help, and I needed it as soon as possible. And that's when I started my therapy. Therapy wasn't an instant solution. I have been working weekly with one therapist since April 2019. We've dug deep into my past, my trauma, the experiences that shaped me, both positive and negative, and I was slowly discovering what was going on with me in my life. 6 months ago, I added a new therapist to my team, and also I experienced group therapy for the first time. And what I found is different therapies focus on different things. This is something that I also talked about in one of my videos when it comes to speaking different languages, because I started therapy in 2019 in Polish, and 6 months ago I started my therapy in English, and the group therapy that I have been attending is also in English. And I also made a video about 2 years in therapy, so 3 years ago, and you can also watch that on my channel. Each experience has brought something unique to my healing journey. One-on-one therapy was and is still a great tool to help me with my deeply personal issues, and group therapy is incredible because you don't feel like you're alone in whatever it is that you are struggling with. And there were moments when it felt too hard to keep going. Some sessions I left feeling raw and drained and tired, but other times I walked away feeling lighter, like a weight that I had been carrying for years has been lifted. I can see now that every session, even the difficult ones, they brought me closer to who I am today. And that's why it makes me so happy that BetterHelp is the paid partner of this video. BetterHelp is a platform that connects you to a credentialed therapist from the comfort of your own home. The BetterHelp platform is a place where you can communicate with your therapist easily, effectively. You can choose your preferred way of connecting to your therapist via chat, phone, or video calls. There are group sessions that you can join that facilitate your healing process. You can find communities that you never thought existed. For example, recently I joined the Healing Burnout Together Restorative Cycle group, and it was everything that I needed because I have been feeling burnt out for a long time, and I talked about it with you here. And that group therapy was incredible because sometimes when you work from home and you're a creative, or you just deal with a lot of stuff, you might end up feeling like you're the only one dealing with that type of problem. And one of the best features of BetterHelp is that if the therapist that you get matched with first doesn't really resonate with you, you can continue looking until you find a therapist that you feel like is a great fit. It took me, I think, a few days to find the therapist that I felt I could really talk to, and I have been in therapy with that therapist for the past 6 months. And honestly, this has been life-changing. Starting therapy is easy with BetterHelp. Just fill out a questionnaire, and usually within a few days, you will be matched to a therapist. They carefully make sure that therapists on the platform are well qualified, and customer support is also making sure that you get the help you need. If you're struggling and think that you would benefit from a therapy session, go to the link in the description box or go to betterhelp.com/Laura Maliszewska, it's here on the screen as well, and get 10% off your first month of therapy. And thank you BetterHelp for being the paid partner of this video. So here are 10 things that I learned in my 5 years of therapy. Let me start with number 1. You can't hide from yourself forever. Therapy has taught me that no matter how much I avoided certain truths about myself, my past, or my patterns, they would always show up at some point in some way in my life. And facing them head on was the only way to truly heal. You cannot outrun yourself forever. 2, your needs matter. Wow, what a concept. For the longest time, I didn't feel like my needs were important. Hell, I didn't even know what my needs were. Sometimes my therapist would ask me, what do you need right now? And I was like, me? I don't know. Need? I don't need anything. Like, what? Even when I was going through like a very, very dark period of my life, I was like, I don't have any needs. That's not true. But growing up in a home where I was managing everyone else's emotions, I learned to put my needs last. And that is no good. Putting your needs first, your own needs, isn't selfish, it's essential. Your needs are what guides you, and getting to know your needs is the first step to recovery. 3, sometimes you just need someone to listen. Not every therapy session was focused on solving a problem. Sometimes I just needed to talk and be listened to and be heard and be seen, and my experiences and emotions to be validated. Sometimes I just needed my therapist to listen to me for a full hour without giving me any solutions, because that's what I needed at the moment. Having someone listen to you actively is incredibly powerful. It's a reminder that you are not alone and that your voice matters. 4, the easiest way for things to change is to change yourself. For the longest time, I wanted my life circumstances to change. But therapy has taught me that the most effective way to change a situation is to focus on yourself. When you shift your perspective and your behavior and your expectations, things can begin to change for you, even internally, even if the outside circumstances do not change. It's all about maintaining peace and clarity here, regardless of what is happening here. 5, there is no shame in how long therapy takes. I used to think that there was a timeline for healing. Like when I started therapy, I thought I would be done by year 1 or year 2. Everyone around me was like, yeah, I did a few years of therapy, like 2 years, 6 months, and they were done. It's all very personal, and healing isn't linear. For me, 5 years of therapy have not been about just tackling the initial pain. They have been about helping me deal with everything that life has been throwing at me. And that takes time, and it's okay if it takes as long as you need. 6, discovering your authentic self is worth it. Therapy has helped me peel back the layers of what I thought or who I thought I was, the layers shaped by my trauma, bad experiences, my pain, all of my harmful patterns, and beneath all of that, I've started to find my authentic self. It's worth every penny, every tear, and every single moment I focus on myself. Especially if you grew up in a dysfunctional family where your self, your identity, has not been able to fully develop. Trust me, it is painful and difficult and revolutionary to reclaim your strength, reclaim your power, and feel like you are your own self that you were never allowed to be before. 7, you are not beyond help. This is a little bit hard to admit. There have been times where I thought I was beyond help, that nobody could ever help me, that I would stay damaged, like my father's abuse, my body image issues, the grief after losing my mom friendship problems because I was always hyper vigilant inside friendships, depression. Like, there were moments where I thought I was irredeemable, that nobody could help me and that I would stay stuck forever. But therapy showed me that nobody is beyond help. Everyone can heal on their own terms, in their own way, provided that they have the right guidance. Healing is available and possible, and if I can heal, no matter what is going on for you, you can heal too. 8, not every tool works all of the time. Therapy and mental health content have shared so many tools with me. Breathwork, meditation, journaling, exercising, everything that you can think of, I have tried. And sometimes I'd come to my therapist and tell her that I felt guilty that for the past few days or weeks or months, I haven't exercised, I haven't journaled, I haven't meditated, I haven't done my breath work, and I would feel like I wasn't doing the right thing to myself because I was like, I know it works, but for some reason I can't do breath work, I can't meditate right now, and I would feel ashamed. I would feel like I'm not using the tool that is supposed to help me and that something is wrong with me. But my therapist taught me, and therapy in general taught me, that those tools exist and some can work for you at a certain time, but they may not work for you at other times. And some other tools might work for you at the time where these previous tools used to work for you. And that it's okay to pick and choose whatever works for you. You are not a machine that is supposed to journal every day, meditate every day, do breath work every day. Like, of course, if you can and you have everything already organized in your life, that is amazing. But if you are struggling and you find that sometimes you don't do the things and you feel ashamed, you shouldn't, because these tools are supposed to be your toolkit that you pick a tool from and see what works for you on any given day. And that is something that I needed to feel lighter as a recovering perfectionist. 9, go let it out, don't let it in. Sometimes you really need to freaking let go of the emotions you have been holding on to. I have been working on a few artistic projects in my life, and sometimes I fell into this trap of thinking that depression, sadness, holding on to my painful past will make me a better artist and better at expressing what I want to express. That's simply not true. I mean, you can create when you feel low, but sometimes you need to let go. You have to let your emotions out. You cannot let them fester inside of you. This is a paraphrase of one of my favorite songwriters of all time. Go let it out, don't let it in. Release, talk about it, do anything that will release these emotions, make them no longer a part of you, but a part of your past that you are not holding on to anymore. 10, let there be love for the people around you, for the people who support you, and yes, sometimes even for the people who have hurt you. Forgiveness isn't about letting them off the hook. It's about freeing yourself from the resentment. It's one of the most healing and selfish things you can do. Let there be love. Again, paraphrasing Oasis, I'm gonna see them next year in concert. And if you have been watching my behind the scenes of my documentary, you know I have been learning how to play guitar and I have been playing their songs. Let there be love. Love is where recovery starts as well. And it starts with the love that you have for yourself. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I have been on a journey, not only with therapy, but with everything in my life. Therapy has been the foundation of my growth. It has helped me let go of my past, embrace the present, and build a future that I'm excited about. If you are considering therapy but aren't sure that it's gonna be right for you, I hope that my story encourages you to take the first step. Healing is worth it. It's not easy, but it's worth it. You deserve a chance to discover your authentic self, to let go of everything that has been holding you back, and to see how you can reach for the happiness, the love, and the calm that is awaiting you. If you liked this video, it would help immensely if you liked it. Share in the comments down below what you think. Check out BetterHelp, and I will see you in my next video.